Daddy, music stopped. And I was like, fucking Bluetooth. Good evening, listeners, the insiders, back with you, back with ourselves, not without technical hiccups. I was coming to try and log in and put my headphones on, and it switched to the Bluetooth of the computer I'd just put in my son's bedroom that had put relaxing music on for him because he couldn't fall asleep. And I hear it on my headphones, and like 2 minutes later he comes out and goes, Daddy, music stopped. And I was like, fucking Bluetooth. You know when you want Bluetooth to work and it doesn't?
Never,
when you're
never,
in your car, you're in your car, you're on your phone, shook, no sound. Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Never ever works.
Tell us your hiccups, brah.
Yeah, my laptop just turned it on and just didn't give me a screen. And then I done the logical thing that you go to 4 years worth of uni for to become an IT expert. So I switched it off and switched it back on.
Oh, that's so tech. I've tried that.
It didn't work, so I started to panic. So then, being super technical, I turned it off, closed it, then opened it, and then turned it back on, and it worked.
The closing technique.
So
my other favourite's when I'm talking to someone out on the street and the phone switches to the car.
Oh yeah.
You're not talking to them anymore, and you hear them talking over the car. But when you're driving in the car and you've actually got a phone call with your mother, and you're trying to be a good son. And,
I'm sure
I can't hear you, Darren.
So loud.
Are you all right? Technology.
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah, I swear to have a phone call. Some people in their car have it on like the most loudest volume possible as well, and you're just like, everybody can hear your business. But yeah, technical difficulties, but we're here.
And like I'm out of like internet data since Hawaii, because after the first week, when I was waking up at 2 a.m, I used it all up like you said I would, and I did. And then my phone got cut off, and then I got my phone back on, but then I didn't bother going to get more data and whatever. I thought I'd just ride it through to the end of the month and try and keep myself off my phone a little bit. But it was still a bit of a fuck around, excuse me. But it was.
It's mad when you realise how much you kind of rely on it when you're somewhere and you want your internet to work, and then it doesn't.
We're just slaves, mate. We're slaves, and we shouldn't be. We shouldn't be slaves. We shouldn't be, but we are. Hey, so what? 31st of March, we're about to kick off tomorrow, April Fool's Day, so we don't need to do the jokes tonight. What did you notice in our glorious surf world this week, Matt?
Some big news, some fun news, some good news, and Miko is back, which is massive.
Wildcard for Bells. You're alluding to, I'm assuming.
I am, and second wild card that I've noticed is Mickey Wright, which in this time in about literally today, 2 weeks today, I will have a mullet cut, and it'll be the night before my stag do before I come down to France and see you. So
which weekend are you down here then?
The 15th to the 18th.
Easter weekend.
Yeah, boy.
As long as my insurance comes through and the stars align, the pie shop will be open and there'll be some beers waiting for you. You and the boys come for some beers.
Yeah, boy. Friday night, shit shirt night at the pie shop.
Which is good because it's barbecue night at the end of the week. And we've got a house full of people, so we're on.
I got the naughtiest shirt as well, which is just So Bell's news was big.
Mick, give me your thoughts. I read an article yesterday on SwellNet from a guy. Actually, he was in my original grommet crew. Wonder if he listens to this one day. Steve Shearer. He was long time. He was a rider on Beach Creek and everything. We were like micro grommets together at Bribey Island, and he's, from reading his thing, I'm not going to say work piss, but he's baffled with the Mick wildcard. Not impressed by it. And a few people agreed with him. I wasn't one of them.
So I've got two takes on it. I'm baffled by the whole wildcard system for this year because of the mid-year cut and also I'm like super intrigued at what they're going to do after the mid-year cut in terms of a wild card, because like people who
the field gets cut, so they've got less heats, mate. So there's less wild cards.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like if someone does what Moana done and goes on and wins an event as a wild card,
second half of the season you don't keep points.
Well, yeah, so it's a bit weird. But in terms of bells, I love the fact that Mick's in there, and I would personally want them to use wildcards like this more. So, like at at Pipe, I wanted Mason Ho JOB. At Sunset, if possible, you'd want stick if it was possible, stick Sonny Garcia out there, or the most winning guy, but older. Yeah, at Portugal. I mean, the wild cards just flopped hard, but especially the men's. And then at Bells, I want to see Mick. He's won it the equal amount of time as anybody else. Yeah, get Mick in. I think Mikey Wright is a weirder wild card than Mick,
especially at Bells.
Mikey Wright said he doesn't want to be on the world tour.
Yeah, no.
3 events later. That's why I like. It's a commercial.
That's a commercial wild card. Mikey's epic. Mikey cops a lot of flack, but just because he's unique.
But he's unique, and he stands for something. He stands for I'm not going to go with the grain. I'm not going to do this. Not going to do that. And he's made the decision to come off of tour. And look, he was about to fall off tour, so it was almost like before you get fired, you quit kind of thing. But in his statements and stuff, it was like he didn't want to surf competitively. He's not really done anything free surf wise after that. And then he comes back to Bells, and I would.
He's not coming back to Bells. It's not. It is interesting, but it's not surprising from a commercial point. And this is what I would.
It's not a Quicksilver event. It's a Ripco event.
Yeah, if I were, but he's quintessential Australia. Bells is a quintessential Australian event, so it's kind of like putting Vegemite on toast, really.
There's a lot of Australia.
Tell me, I'll give you 4 seconds to give me a young Australian wild card that you put on it. 1,
Joel
2,
Vaughan,
3, 4.
Huey Vaughan.
Yeah, because you. Yeah. Well,
but
I would have said that.
They're up in the ratings right now. But But Mikey Wright's not he's not a young wild card. He's just. No. I'd rather see Joel Parkinson out at Bells.
Yeah, but Joel's got a bit of a cruising body going on, and I don't think he's up for it. I think they ask him before they announce it. Well, if you're looking at someone like Mick, well, because there was plenty of negatives, so I'll tell you my positive affirmation of Mick getting the wild card is the world isn't just about 20-year-olds. It was in sport. It's not anymore. Kelly just won Pipe at 50. Mick's 10 years younger than him. So why wouldn't you, if you're running a commercial organisation like they are, why wouldn't you look for some sort of fairy tale that's possible? You agree with me, I know. Other people, Mikey, I wouldn't have picked either.
I'd rather them give it to Jack Freestone so he could get out there on some
album. But he's
no,
it's not the same thing.
No, but
Mikey has a complete horde of followers.
Yeah,
that's what they want, man. That's what they want. That's what you want, and I don't blame it because it's running at a loss if everyone's telling the truth. So why don't you? You don't go and see a concert. They don't play unless you're Bob Dylan. A whole bunch of songs you don't know. They play the hits because that's why people go to watch it. He's not going to get through to round 4 though, is he?
I mean, Mikey is good enough, and he could
Mick's got Toledo, hasn't he, in his first heat?
Yeah, and someone else. Can't remember who else. Is it Barron? No
idea. But for sure, it is like what you said. For sure, it is someone else. That's for sure, mate. Sorry for the love. I just love taking the piss, but
I don't apologise. Don't pretend to people that you're sorry. We know you're not.
I won't be. I won't pretend that.
So okay, so you're saying Mikey's not going to go far. What do you think Mick will do?
I'd like to think Mick could make the quarters, but it's really hard.
Focusing
it's
on
not. It's not Mick. We just talked on our last episode of Mick in that surf movie that we watched. What was it called? Juice. He was surfing as good as anyone at Trestles, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Bells suits him. So
and he's won it.
Let's look at someone else. Great surfer. He's a good heat. Look, Chloe Andino, Jack Robinson, Judson Andre. I'd bet my car on Mick against Chloe and Jack, and they're big, high names at Bells, wouldn't you?
Really? I wouldn't, but
my works car. Head office's car.
What? Okay, so
you think Chloe and Jack Robinson can take Mick at Bells? No chance.
I would be if I looked at that on a betting sheet, I would leave it alone. I wouldn't go because three of it. So if I say, what about if I pose you the question? Because we do this at work, and I like the idea of the Surfvival League. So you have to pick someone to get past the round of 32. Where would you put Mick on that? Would you say yes, he's getting past?
Yeah. Of course he's getting 3 because he's going to go to round 2 if he doesn't beat Toledo, which honestly there's not many people that can beat Toledo at Bells, especially if it's not good. So let's say Mick's going to round 2. I think he can get at least second in round 2 against a whole bunch of also rounds. I think the heat of the round that I've seen so far is Griffin, Leo, and Mikey, because Leo's pretty good at Bells.
Well, Leo and Mikey
we'll get to see.
Leo and Mikey have got a bit of history as well, haven't they? Because of the thing at Pipe with the free heats at Pipe.
We'll just show off the Mick. The Mick Mikey wildcard. We won't bang it to death. Who's your bell ringer? Obvious bell ringer and wildcard bell ringer.
Okay, so I picked like I say, we do a thing at work, and I try and pick the winner, and I picked Griff to win Portugal. So
you're a legend.
So my obvious I've picked is Felipe. I think he might win it, and my wild card to do really well, if not win it, is Ethan Ewing a wild card?
I would say I was going to pick him.
Okay, well, I stick with him. I'm gonna say Geordie, Felipe, and Mick. Fair. Do you know what 3 people at work have gone Geordie? So
he's an incredible surfer at Bells, man. Incredible. And there's no Gabrielle in the mix, which you're always going to think. And I was looking.
That's what I was about to come on to, because you said about news, and I was saying about wildcard news, and obviously I was going to come on to Medina because the WSL made him available as a pick on fantasy.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then take him off. And
here's another one. And I had him in my team from Portugal, and I was like, he's no good at Bells. I don't know. Italo, and then when you remember, he actually beat Mick.
He won it, yeah.
So he's like left him in. He's good everywhere, man. You don't like. He's good. He's got Zeke. He's got Zeke and Imakalane developed in his first heat, and that's a smash of a heat too.
The forecast wise, it looks kind of shitty for the first couple of days.
It's early. I don't believe the early forecast. It's still 15 days away, isn't it? When does it start? No, it starts the 10th.
Oh, does it? Sorry, I've got my weeks mixed up. 9, yeah, it starts in 9 days. Oh, yeah, so I've got my weeks mixed up. Yeah, ignore me.
But they can mow through heats, and they can be misogynic and put the women out earlier in the comp.
Yeah, yeah.
It's Australia. They're expected to be misogynic.
So that...
It is looking crap, though, man. It's 3 foot.
It's got some time to pick up.
4 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot. Let's go back to
Felipe.
Let's go back to meanwhile sunset. Look at that. 5 to 8 foot, 9 to 11 foot, 10 to 13 foot, 6 to 9 foot. Why wouldn't they should just go back to sunset.
You're not in Hawaii anymore. So what about obviously discussing the week of news in the surf world, and we've just basically touched on bells. We shouldn't be misogenic. What about your picks for women?
Steph Tyler Wright. I'm going to keep it. Yep, Steph Tyler Wright.
You nicked Tyler from me. I was going to say my heart says Steph. I think Tyler might do something very special. I reckon Tyler might win it. Wild card though, to at least make the semis, hopefully win it. India Robinson. I think she could go and do some damage.
No chance.
Do you mean no chance? Especially if it's smaller. She's a Bells local. She absolutely rips the bag out of it. So I reckon she will prove you wrong.
It's not kind of the way that really lends itself to a local.
It definitely is. It's a hard road to surf.
Adam Robinson, yeah, but they're all good enough to surf that. I mean, it's just kind of fat, but like these crew get speed from nothing. Like we'll see. I mean, if the forecast stays to form, I'll be saying Toledo all the way.
Yeah, and India.
and I don't think New Delhi will make a dent in it.
Fair play. So I wanted to. Now we've kind of gone over that kind of bit of news. I wanted to ask you a question. Actually, this is off the cuff because I haven't mentioned that I was going to ask this. I want to talk to you about Stab in general as a company, as a publication. Does Stab now rule surfing?
Yeah. They got hold of it. They followed the right business model, which I actually, I'm going to take credit for everything. And I don't think they'll even know I'll take credit. But I said to the who was it? Some WSL president who came to Euroglass one time at the barbecue. And I said to him, and I think I'm even quoted somewhere in one of those industry notes, I said, just go pay to view. Don't be an idiot. Like Bradley's of heavy motorcycle cross, not even motorcycle cross, that's stupid, Darren. Grand Prix motorbike, GP.
Yeah.
He'll pay. Those dudes will pay, man. If you're into it, I'll pay to watch the CT, won't you? You'll pay, won't you?
I'll pay.
If they say to you it's €30 or €50 for the year, you got membership, you'll pay. I'll pay it. And you know what? If 10,000 people less watch it, that just means we get a better feed, and they've still got all our $50 so they can make a better thing. And then bit by bit, these other people will start paying, which is what they did with Stab, because then Stab got money so they could do better product, which brought them more people, and then it's a snowball, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's the thing, is that's where you've got to pay. Like almost you got to give Stab some props. I paid for premium straight away. Literally the day it came out,
I reckon I paid for it before you.
Maybe. Who knows?
No, I reckon I did. I even if I didn't, I'm still going to say I did.
I don't know if we could prove it or not. Maybe we'll have to get Stab to verify whose email was signed up first. But
I didn't pay for it straight away. I waited a little bit, and then I saw my mate last. But I was going to. I was always going to. I was waiting for. I forget what I was waiting for to come up.
But when I signed up, the one thing in my head was like, okay, I'm more than happy to do this. I just hope it means that I get more regular and higher quality content. And their content,
instead of just dribble like what you get off Beach Grip.
But their content has gone absolutely through the roof, and like their business model is
because
great.
they got money. Because they got money to pay for it.
But do you not feel like, and
Monopoly?
I'm a huge Stab fan. I just feel like some of the stuff they've done recently is a little bit too commercial.
Yeah, same. Yeah, it's becoming a bit of a monopoly thing. It's a bit.
I didn't really like the the pickup that they do with Vans. I used to love it when it was Harry Bryant or Danny Johnson and stuff no disrespect, but Tosh Tudor just like it was just like shit house. And watching Nathan Fletcher try and read something scripted was as cringe as it comes. And
it was very uncomfortable, wasn't it?
And I like some of the stuff they do is world class. And I actually am a fan of the drive-through, but I know you're not really, and it still feels heavily kind of commercialized as well as not just being surf content.
Yeah. It's they're not. I'm not going. They're not going to win a Sean Penn independent, stick to your guns. I don't think they're scared of money, so that's what they're chasing.
No, and they're good. Like I say,
it's a pity. It's a pity because like I'm trying to find news other places as well. I just like reading. I think you're similar. There'll be a lot of people like us who actually like reading, or they're driving along, so that's why they like podcasts. And I used to buy the paper every morning when I was younger. Every morning, even when I first moved to France, I was buying the paper every morning with breakfast, and it actually helped my reading in France. So then, laptops come along and we were able to click on and read actually about shit that was interesting to us, that instead of like our 6 cows got killed by like a drunk driver at the back of Mont-de-Marsan or something. Surfline at the time was really good too, because they had hell articles and everything. But Surfline was then died and went into an only webcam model, which obviously works for them. Magic Seaweed went the same way. Coastal Watch went the same way. And now we've only left with Stab. I mean, so every now and then I try and go into Tracks, which was an old iconic surf magazine, still is in Australia, but you can't really see anything because they've got a premium thing too. And there's nothing regular there, like what you said you like.
Yeah, same as the Surfers Journal. Like I've managed to find some and pick some up before, and I love it, but it's got no presence online. It's just like there's just a bar. But I just think that Stab, with all of the great stuff they do, some of the stuff I feel like can be a bit weird. And earlier this week, or at the end of last week, there's a video where Tosh Tudor actually, his name again, went to duck dive, let go of his board, and it hit a kid in the head. And they put a video up, like basically calling for that person to be a kook and naming shamed him, and then found out it was him and basically took it all down, which made me think like, well, if you're going to do it, it doesn't matter if it's Tosh Tudor or if it's John. If they put someone else in danger and you want to shame them, then shame them. If not, then they probably shouldn't have put it up straight away. But
they got scared of his dad.
Maybe. He had a little win this week, didn't he?
What happened? I have no idea.
The WSL have brought back the longboard tour. They've paired with Van, and they've now got 3 events. So so now the question that everyone's asking is Joel Tudor, who's clearly been a part of getting these events back on and is the reigning world champion, is he going to be allowed to surf in the events, or is he still going to be suspended? Which is going to be interesting.
Downright scandal if he isn't.
I'd love it either way, because if he's not allowed, the Instagram posts and the amount he'll kick off will be all time. And if he is,
pretty gnarly. It's pretty gnarly that he even won it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was cheering on Ben Skinner from the UK side of things, and turns out if he won one more heat or whatever, he would have won it. And I wasn't
cheering on anyone because, I love to actually longboard every now and then, but I just never will watch. I mean, you can't watch everything when you've got a lot of shit going on in your life, and even if you don't, I'm not going to probably watch a longboard competition. For me, it's kind of like Nazare. It's a whole lot more fun doing than watching.
I would rather watch Nazare than do it. And I hate watching Nazare. But longboarding is difficult, man. I tried it last summer.
Yeah, mate, it's super hard. Difficult. And it's even more difficult to look good doing it.
Yeah. I just
plenty of people out there constantly jerking and working around like Alex Nost, but actually people that look stylish like Harrison Roach or someone else. Yes, it's a whole different kettle of fish, isn't it?
Yeah. So fair play to anyone who could stylishly longboard, because I can't. So well done.
What's your moving right along? What's your next surfboard that you got sniffing around your radar?
So on order, I have a second asymmetrical album. So I have the Disorder on order. A size 6'5". So I sized it up with Matt and the help of Matt Parker to pair alongside my 6'8" Townsend. It's a more performancey kind of knifey version of it, but I still wanted the length for my height.
When do you think you're getting this?
Months.
I might try and order one of those little suckers myself.
Yeah. What else? There's also there's a few boards around that have come out that look really nice.
I've got a brand new Mark Phipps 6.2 Yo in my garage, just waiting for a white part.
No.
And my friend to get back from South Africa, which he has, and he'd try and get my fins back off him because it's FCS2, which I haven't had for a while. And like I saw this board when I came back from Hawaii, and I was like, I can't ride this. This is a 6.2. Those days are past. And I was just like, what am I going to do? And then day before yesterday, I surfed this kind of little left bank, one of my old spots, and I got a bit of shortboard buzz, Matt.
Big board.
Admit.
It's a sick board. I love that shape.
It's just crazy. Like single fin outline, a little bit more volume up front, rounded pin, goes fast and holds, can kind of go on everything.
When me
35 litres, 34.7, I think it is.
Yeah, when me and Silent Jack first came out to France, we surfed the Yo and the Yo-Yo, and they're both super good. Another, you mentioned about what other boards. There's a Pizel Mini Ghost, which we had in at Board Shop like a couple of months ago. And when it came in, I looked at it and it looked like really intriguing, but a bit funky. And now every single time I walk past it, I pick it back up and I'm like, sick, I want to have a go. So the guy who does Pizel France has sorted me one out for when I come down. And also Bradley's got a 20, like a high performance 20 that I'm borrowing off of him when I come down as well. So
his own one.
Yeah,
he's lending me that first. I'm waiting on that myself.
You ain't gonna be no, different one, I think. This one's been around a while.
Okay. Because he's got one at his house that he said is his performance 20 and he hasn't even waxed it up yet. I rang him the other day on my way to the surf and I was like, come on.
Different board.
What's going on with the board? And he's like, I don't know. And I was kind of like, it's your wife, babe. I was just waiting for him to say, go pick it up, but he didn't.
Different one. I know that's his I think he's called it the Hossie 2 or something. But
with a kind of a squash tail and some wings on it.
Oh shit, no, that maybe is the same one then. With a multicolored bottom. Anyway.
Talking about twins, I just spoke to Rob Vaughan this afternoon and we'll try and get him on for a podcast super soon. He's like the guru of the pin twin, man.
Yeah.
His pin twin is years before Channel Islands. Years before. I didn't.
And you've got
100% gel with it. I had a couple, but I just can't make a twin go fast like a quarter thruster. I wonder if I'm just alone.
What about you telling me about your boy at Fantastic Acid and you was looking at another one of those as well?
Oh, yeah. Because I've got that, it's a 7.0, no idea what the dimensions are. Paul Evans is just freaking on it. And I'm telling you, this thing's just like you can catch anything, but it's got a wide, flat, round tail. And when you go to turn, it just throws you off. Now, Bradley, in all his wisdom, is saying, you're not supposed to surf it you're not supposed to try and have bite and speed in turns, but he's wrong. And I sent a message to Tristan and he said, no, he's keen. I said, look, you got to try and evolve with this thing because you got something really good going on up front. And I'm sure if he changes the back 10 inches of the board, we can have something incredible. So I'm going to do a small podcast with him shortly in his shaping bay, and we'll talk about that because I've got this 7.0 and I'm thinking about going to 6.10 with little hips on it and still big round full nose because that way you've got a longboard without having to have a fucking longboard because people listening here and anyone who's contemplating children, and the best days at the beach in summer are the small clean days, but try carrying a backpack with water jugs, kids' toys an effing longboard over the sand dunes and down the beach. It'll kill you.
No wonder you lose and leave boards on the beach.
It'll kill you now, I'm telling you, with the longboard, especially if you let Gracie glass it himself and it's got like six layers of glass on and a textured deck and all this sort of stuff.
Glass on fins.
Gracie will get him on. He puts a textured deck, which means he doesn't put a finish coat on the last layer of fiberglass so that you don't necessarily need wax.
Well,
the problem is, like I had one and to clean it, it's impossible.
What maniac. Just use wax.
It is practical somewhere, but it's left of centre.
Yeah, that is. What there was something else in the surf news that I saw this week, which
was interesting.
I believe it was that I thought I'd made a note of, and I can't seem to find it. So we'll have to not talk about that unless it comes.
No, well, we won't talk about it. We've got surfboards, we've got bells coming up, we've got COVID coming back, we've got summer nipping on our heels, which hopefully means that we're going to have fun surfs, not so serious, and we can, like what we were just talking about, experiment with a few fun new boards.
What do you think about the forecast for me coming down? Prediction
for Easter is, it's a little bit early to say, but there's a banging swell the week before you get here on the Sunday.
So hopefully we get the back end of that.
And I've got 14 Austrians coming to our beach house, and I just sent a message to their team leader today. I was like, I think we're going to have to get a van and you're going to have to take them to Hondi, which is the most protected beach. Don't worry, we're not giving away secret spots here. It's a beach where you go.
Sick wave.
Well,
it's a great wave, except for people who are, right, let me just disclaimer. If you're not a freak who just wants to charge massive waves, then it's a great little wave, especially when it's blown out everywhere else.
Well, yeah, it's going to be big and blown out. There's 16 seconds coming through, and I was saying to him, let's take them down there. And the more I was looking at the forecast, I said, well, maybe you'll be taking them down there because I've got to go somewhere else. And he said, we'll come and watch you. And I said, yeah, why not? So it'll depend. I just got to see what the tide is for that thing. Have you been able to check your tides?
What, for you? No.
It's too early. Don't go looking at it yet, man. You still got another 15 days.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't.
You'll still be looking at it every day. It's impossible not to if you're going away.
Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest,
you'll be hungover, man.
I'm going to be smashed up, so I don't really want it to be massive. But then again, I might be drunk and surf when it's massive, so who knows?
Oh, I've got to make sure I get the fridge full of Augustinas when you're there. Maybe even you'll drink Carlsberg, won't you?
Drink anything, mate. I'm English.
Okay, well, I'll get a couple of kegs of Carlsberg there, and
hot
meat pies coming out of our ringworm holes.
My good friend, Chef, goes by the name of Chef. He's you'll meet him. He's cracking. He's like an English Seth Rogen, like look alike, sound alike. And
who's Seth Rogen?
You know Seth Rogen. You know the American actor from like Superbad and loads of other Knocked Up and loads of other films. Funny guy.
I live on the moon.
Anyway, he's absolutely gagging for one of his pies. I've been talking up these pies for months to him. So,
mate, there'll be pies there.
Yeah, he's going to be frothing.
Anyone listening comes to the South of France this summer, stop into the pie shop, say hello.
Use discount.
Mention the insiders, and you can have 10%.
There you go. Use discount code the insiders 10 with your pie order.
And a wink.
Yeah.
And we're going to bid you a farewell with that, viewers, tonight.
Yeah. Well, I was going to talk about do's and don'ts.
What about do's and don'ts? And I had a couple, so I'm going to let you go first so I can remember it.
Oh, you can't remember it? Okay, yeah. I'll
It'll
go.
come. It'll come.
Perfect. So my do is around longboarding. If you are a shortboarder or if you're a snob and you look at longboarders in a certain kind of light where they're lazy or it's easy, blah, blah, blah. Get a longboard, like borrow one, go and try and surf a longboard for an hour, and you will be humbled because it's incredibly fun, but incredibly hard. So my do was to diversify what you're surfing. And if you're a shortboarder, for sure, go and try and get on a longboard because it'll be eye-opening. My don't would be, I didn't have a don't. Let me think. My don't would be.
I'll do me
yeah,
do while you do don't.
Do your do, yeah.
Do keep at least one decent shortboard that suits you in your quiver or at least your garage. Because I noticed the other day I surfed a front bank and I was like, yeah, I need a board like that for that. And they are the undisputed champion on changing direction. So if you're on a wave that's changing direction, shortboard's the way to go. Or on a super fast barreling head high wave as well.
Yeah, and
long live the shortboard.
Yeah, long live the fulfilled quiver of everything you need.
What's your don't?
My don't would be it's a weird one, but my don't is don't put yourself through pain to look good. And what I mean by that is,
that's as deep as it gets, mate.
Well, what I mean by that is I've seen a few people not wearing boots and gloves, but still wearing the hood. And then they're like tucking their hand, especially in the UK right now, tucking their hands under their armpits and stuff. And I know they say, oh, it's because they don't like paddling with gloves on, they're heavy, they feel like shit, blah. Yeah, that's cool. But your hands are like bright red, almost got frostbite. You definitely can't feel them.
You're going to get some sort of arthritis from that, aren't you?
And you can't surf with numb feet as well. Like your feet, like you've got to feel what your feet are doing. So I would say function over fashion for a don't.
I haven't had my summer solstice spring cleaning haircut yet, so I'm looking a little bit like Grizzly Adams, and I've got a bit of facial hair, my moustache running, and I went for my hooded surf with no booties a few times this week because the water's warmed up, and I haven't got my fringe cut, so I didn't want to do the big hair flicker after a duck dive. Is that function over fashion?
To be honest, I've never heard that before, but that makes sense. So I'll allow you that. But that's because your feet aren't cold. You weren't coming and going, oh, my feet are numb.
No, it wasn't cold. And so I was surprisingly one of the only people out there without booties. And I've got a friend who's had them on for ages, but it's like,
you're hardcore.
It wasn't cold, man. You would have been saying,
I'd have been in shorts.
Man, I spent 3 hours on the beach, me and Marlo, and we were in our 4.3s, no booty. He didn't have booties. He's an 8-year-old. Come on. Toughen that up. My don't is don't paddle out to a peak full of beginners. There was one the other day. It was a good fun ride, and I was like, oh, I'm on it. I'm just going to dodge and weave them, and I did. And on my third wave, I think I've gone up for a semi-floater, like a kind of a projection floater. I was running right to try and get, and like halfway down, I had to go between 3 or 4 dudes, and one guy's just looking at me like with so much fear in his eyes and anger. And
what's he angry about?
Out of shame for myself, I just didn't even paddle back out. I paddled across to the left. That was across front with more rip, because I'd already had a few issues. Like there was a very slow paddling beginner girl out there, and she kind of kept swinging and trying to paddle and she just couldn't catch one. And I sort of also looking at me like unfit people look at you when you catch a wave, like.
Yeah.
So instead of fighting it or trying to be the tough dude, I just moved on. Stay away from them. Leave them to themselves when you have to.
Very noble of you.
Yes.
Well, there's some great do's and don'ts. I hope everyone enjoyed it. As you said, you have longer hair and some facial hair. I have brought back.
I'm getting a. By the time you get here, I'll have a mohawk.
Good man. Well, I'm going to have a mullet with a mustache, and all of us are coming out with a mustache. And
I'm going for my spring mohawk.
And that being the case, I better go because mustache. Ha!
Au revoir.
Au revoir.